ukisikia kufungua utafungua. Kama the message ijakuja kwamba ni wakati wa kufungua na unasikia kufungua, unaachilia.
Anaingia kwa fast.
Yeah.
Lakini akitaka kufungua anafungua. Ngoja message anaambiwa from abroad as well. Sikizeni hiyo ushuhuda. Nasitaki kuona watu wanalala.
He started going to church because he had promised that if his leg is going to be healed, then he's going to go back to church. So his leg finally was healed, and he started going to church. He said he was selling some mandazi in his school, and so he was getting money. And he was very, very faithful when tithing unto the Lord. He would take the tithe to the house of the Lord, but holiness he would not maintain. He says that in the church he would go and sit at a certain corner. He does not want to sit in front or take any responsibility in the house of the Lord, because he wanted to still continue maintaining his friends in the world and a certain lifestyle of the world, while still having the identity of this is a person from the ministry of repentance and holiness. So he says in the church, when people are celebrating, whether a cripple gets up and walks, he was indifferent about it. He would just sit down. If people are celebrating, anawaangalia tu, he says he was just looking at them.
Watu wana celebrate kiweta ametembea, yeye ameketi tu.
He didn't see how he can kneel down and button his clothes.
Hawezi kupiga magoti chini aombe, anaona atachafuka. Listen and follow it carefully.
Right now would be announced. He used to believe that since many people are praying, then God must listen to the many people that are praying. So he would join the holy fast, the holy total dry fast of the Lord. But then he says he would only fast up to whenever he can manage. If he feels like he's going to break after the 2 days or 3 days, if the fast is 4 days, then he just goes ahead and breaks the fast whenever he feels like. He wouldn't wait for when it will end. It depends on whether he will manage, whether he doesn't manage. He didn't struggle to ensure that he goes according to the instructions of the fast. Whether it's a 3-day fast, if he feels like breaking on the 2nd day fast, he would just break the fast. So he was living just a casual life, a casual Christian lifestyle like that. So holy fast unaingia, lakini mahali kwenye itakufikisha, mahali mwili itakataa, hapo ndio unakubali na unaenda na kufungua.
Hapo ndio unakubali na kufungua.
Ndio.
So I kept on living like that.
Ndio.
But again, ukienda kanisa, sometimes feel you are captivated, unaona Mungu amekuguza, but a larger part of me was outside and a certain part was inside the church.
Yes.
So kuchange ikawa ni ngumu sana kwangu.
Kuchange ikawa ngumu sana. So changing from the kind of lifestyle you are used to, holding on to the part of the world and worldliness.
And just to put it together.
Ndio.
Because I wanted to continue with studies.
Yes.
Come January.
Yes.
So I used to keep coupons. I used to do mandazi. I had a second-hand pikipiki.
Yes.
And after the sales of coupon and pikipiki,
yes,
I got a sum of 33,330.
Yes.
So essentially, I was to pay a tithe of 3,340.
Yes.
But now,
yes,
I decided let me just pay 1,000.
Yes.
Because January shule zikiresume nitaendelea kuuza mandazi.
Yes.
I will just clear the remaining debt.
Yes.
Not knowing kumbe I was not to be part of January.
Sikia hiyo vizuri hapo.
So this particular time bado niko na marafiki zangu wa dunia.
Ndio.
We are still hanging out with them.
Yes.
Talking with them.
Yes.
Tasting with them. Wakiwa tu na kila kitu tunafanya tu, like I'm not born again, but on Sunday I'm a born again Christian.
On Sunday you're in church, you're born again Christian on Sunday, but during the week, when Monday comes, you are not.
I'm not.
Yes.
So that is the way I used to live my life.
That's the way you used to live your life. So again, he is explaining, blessed people, that he used to live a casual Christian lifestyle. He said in the month of November, he says that he sold his motorcycle, sold chicken, and was gathering that money so he can prepare to go back to school and further his education. And he says he got about 33,340. And he knew very well that he was supposed to take his tithe to the house of the Lord, 3,340. But he says that he did not. He only decided to take 1,000 shillings and said, never mind, since in January the schools are going to open, I will continue with my mandazi business, and then I'll pay the rest of the tithe that I have not paid to the Lord. So all will be well. And he said, little did I know that I was not to be part of January. He says, little did I know that I was going to be dead. I was not to be part of January. I was not going to see the new year at all. That is what he is saying. So he said he still kept on maintaining his friends of the world. Whenever he's with his friends, they live their life normal worldly life. When he comes to church on Sunday, he's pretending a born-again Christian, holy in the ministry of repentance and holiness, going to heaven. So, what are the things you used to do with these your friends that you call normal worldly lifestyle? Nini ulikuwa unafanya na marafiki zako hao ambao ulikuwa unaona kwamba ni maisha ya kawaida ya ulimwengu?
Shika jirani yako.
Two of them were ladies.
Yes.
And one of them was a Muslim guy.
Two ladies and a Muslim guy. Yes.
So, mostly our greeting could be hugs.
Yes.
That is the way we used to do it.
Yes. Hugs.
Whenever they hug.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the way I used to live that life.
Yes.
Whenever we want to go somewhere, maybe a party, I could join.
Yes.
All of them were smoking.
All of them were smokers.
They were smokers, but to me I never smoked. But the pombe,
yes,
I used to justify and say kidogo si mbaya na tumbo.
You used to justify, say kidogo si mbaya na tumbo.
Kidogo si mbaya na tumbo.
So you go to church on Sunday, you're lifting your hands. I don't know whether you're lifting your hands, but worshiping in the house of the Lord, and then you come back, you join your friends, you go, if they are drinking, you drink a little, saying a little is good for the stomach.
Yes.
Yes, they smoke, but you didn't smoke.
Yes.
So they were smoking like weed, or what were they smoking? Cigarettes? What?
They were smoking weed.
Smoking bang. Marijuana. Weed. Yes.
So after the sale of pikipiki and chicken,
yes,
I had a sum of almost 65,000 in my account.
Yes.
And I knew that will be enough.
Yes.
To take me to college.
Yes.
For a starter.
Yes.
Na kwa sababu biashara ya mandazi itaendelea kufanywa,
ndio
itanilipia the rest.
Yes.
But this particular time pesa ilipotea in a way I couldn't explain.
Yes.
Because immediately I gathered that money, I had to buy another one.
Yes.
I lost almost 33,000. The 33,000 I made from sale.
Yes.
I lost in a way I couldn't account for. Nimepoteza hiyo pesa aje.
Yes.
And after losing the money.
Yes.
That is now December.
Yes.
I became nikawa come into depressed, and I needed an answer from God.
Yes.
Because I was tithing.
Yes.
Despite not being holy, I was tithing and I was doing all those other things.
Yes.
But now pesa yangu imeanza kupotea in a way I don't know how.
Yes.
I could see the age ilikuwa imeadvance sana.
Yes.
Bado nataka kuachieve some dreams here and there.
Yes.
But it was not the first time kushika pesa inapotea in a way I don't know how.
Yes.
So I started complaining to God, and I decided I will fast.
Yes.
Not necessarily to pray.
Yes.
But to complain to God. And I was telling God, I want to hear from you. I've heard a lot of people saying, even in the Bible.
Yes.
This time I don't want you to send anything. Just answer me and tell me, where did I go wrong?
Yes.
What did I do to you?
Yes.
So nobody noticed that I am home, because nikiwa na shida, I'm this person who keeps quiet.
Yes.
And I decided sasa nataka nichukue this whole week from Monday to Sunday. Partial fast.
Yes.
I will be eating kidogo when it comes to the evening.
Yes.
But the mornings, maka jioni, I'm just serving and praying and asking God, where did I go wrong?
Yes.
And I had a strong faith that on Sunday I will get a sign or I will get a voice from God telling me, this is where you go wrong, you need to change this and this.
Yes.
So I fasted the first day.
You fasted the first day, so you decided you're going to fast from Monday to Sunday. And you believe that the Lord will have to speak to you in whichever way. You wanted to hear his voice.
Yes.
And he said, don't send anyone, I want to hear you because I've seen in the Bible that you speak to people.
Yes.
So you believe that if you continue with that fasting, you are going to hear the voice of the Lord.
Yes.
Yes.
So I fasted from Monday to Friday.
You fasted from Monday to Friday?
And about Friday midday,
yes,
I remembered one of the friends.
Friday midday, one of your friends, yes,
had a party. Wow.
Had a party in their home, yes.
Yes. Now this friend, when it came to the things of the world, she was so supportive.
When it comes to the things of the world, this type of this particular friend was very supportive.
Yes.
Like what?
Like unapata kama, for example, if he had a birthday party,
yes,
she could always buy me a gift.
Yes.
So she was so supportive. When you have a problem, like financial problem, you could call them.
Yes.
And if they had money, they could just send you.
Yes.
So to me, they were so supportive.
So supportive. Worldly things. Yes.
Yeah.
So this time now she has a party in their home.
Now, yes.
It's Friday and you still have 2 days to continue your fast.
Now it was on Saturday. Now the party was on Saturday. I'm remembering tomorrow I have a party.
Yes.
To attend.
Yes.
Yeah. On Saturday.
Yes.
So nikapiga hesabu nikaona nikienda party.
Yes.
Nikisipoenda itakuwa mbaya kwa msichana, because to me I believe friends were everything.
Yes, you believe friends were everything. So if you don't appear in her party, it would be wrong.
Yeah. But I did my calculations and I found out nikienda kwa party niwaambie nafunga itakaa. And remember these people sikutaka wajue nimeokoka.
Ndio.
So I had to come up with a plan of the way I will go to party.
Yes.
Eating the party was to do something unusual.
Yes.
And still bado ni continue na fast.
Yes.
So I told God.
Yes.
I just went in between friends and God, and this time I got it wrong because I chose friend and I said,
yes,
I will just break the fast, lakini siku ivunja namna hiyo. I said nita extend mpaka usiku.
Yes.
And comes morning nitakula. And then I leo nikaona kama Mungu amekubali. You know, God does not tell you, yes, go ahead.
Yes.
To me, I never took God with that seriousness the way He is serious.
Yes.
So mimi nikajazia will fast mpaka usiku, and the morning nitaenda party na nitasherekea kama hao wengine.
So the Lord can wait, but friends can't wait. Friends are more important, and so God takes a spare tire.
Yes.
Yes.
So when the day arrived,
yes,
niliamka just as a normal day.
You woke up, it was just like a normal day.
Nothing unusual about that day.
Yes.
It was just a normal day. Sun ilitoka tu kwenye natokanga. Everything was normal. Those morning talks.
Yes.
With parents, with the siblings there.
Yes.
With neighbors, nothing was unusual.
Yes.
So I went to the party. I never took hata chai mingi because nilikuwa naenda party nikakule. So I had to leave a space in my stomach.
Yes.
That nikienda kwa sherehe nitaifeel kabisa. Yes.
Okay, that's still, again, at this point, precious people, Moses Kahuria does not want his friends to get to know he's born again, and so he does not want to show any identity of salvation, and he wants to also show up in the friends party, but because the friends were more supportive. It's like, friends first, the Lord can wait. So this is what he had. The friends, between friends and the Lord, the friends won. So kafika kwa party. He said he arrived to the party. Actually, he didn't eat much at home. He just stayed a little because he was headed to a party and he wants to go and eat very well in the party. Ulikuwa unajua kwamba huko watapika sawa sawa, so there is quite a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
So nikaacha that space, nikienda huko nitakula.
Ndio.
So vile tulienda party.
Yes.
We finished eating the normal meal.
Yes.
And then watu wakatoka sasa, watu the elderly wakatoka because that day kulikuwa na a lot of party. This party,
yes,
the traditional ceremony ya kijana alikuwa anatoka jandoni.
Traditional ceremony of initiation ceremony.
Yes.
Yes.
So walikuwa wanatoka wengi, so a lot of people walikuwa na haraka, they eat in a haste, watoke waende kwingine.
Ndio.
So we were just left the four of us.
Yes.
And then sasa after hiyo soda zikakuja, and then I picked Fanta.
Yes.
Na msichana yule sasa tulienda kwao, akaenda akakuja na a shopping bag.
Shopping bag.
Na ndani ilikuwa na cakes.
Cakes, yes.
So akatugawia keki kila mtu equal portions.
Yes.
But the thing they never told me is that this cake was cooked using weed.
Yes, so they never told you the cake was baked with weed.
Yes.
Bangi.
Yes.
Yes.
So, despite that I was a Mormon,
yes,
the effect of being a lukewarm Christian,
yes,